Hey guys, welcome back to Creativity and Inspiration. If you're new, welcome. I'm so happy you found us. I'm Lisa. How's everyone doing? It's Friday. Woohoo! Woohoo! I know y'all don't come to watch me dance, but it's Friday. I always do a happy dance on Friday. So today we're starting our video about altering index cards in the kitchen. Because I'm going to coffee dice them real quick, dry them in my oven real fast, and I thought, well, why don't you guys just come along with me for the whole process. Now, I wish I had like some coffee grounds and stuff that were, was really dark and everything, but I don't, and I don't honestly like really grungy coffee paper. And if I'm being totally honest, I hate dyeing coffee paper. In fact, I've ordered some from Etsy, and when it comes, we'll do a little haul, and I'll give you the name of the shops, because I love to share positive experiences from Etsy and help small businesses. So if you're like me and you use coffee stain, tea stain paper in stuff, but not all the time, and you hate to do it, stay tuned for that. Hit that subscribe button and that little bell so you'll know, because I will post about that as soon as I get it. Okay, this is very hot coffee, but I don't want to water it down, so I'm just going to pour it in my bowl here. And put my coffee cup in the sink, and while my index cards are sitting there, well, I guess I better lift them out. Okay, I'm gonna pick them up and move them around because there's 3 in here, and I don't want any holes. I'm going to flip them over real quick. As you can see, there are holes that are missed with the coffee. Let's see if I can get this one out. Alright, I'm going to throw my parchment on my pan really fast. Take my cards out. I know you can't see real good, sorry, but I'm trying to get them out before they start tearing. And I'm going to just throw them over here. And I made this really strong, so it really stinks, but that's okay. I'm spreading them out on my pan so they dry. Let me get a towel. And that's basically it. I'm gonna maybe do some parchment paper. Oh, my oven is ready. So all I did was tear off some parchment paper. And I'm going to drop it in the coffee, since I have coffee and nothing to do with it. The good thing with the parchment paper is it won't tear like the index cards, so it can sit here for a minute. I like to use this, doing tags and that sort of thing. We're just going to back up. And I'm going to pop this in a 200-degree oven. For about, I don't know, a few minutes. This I'll just keep. And that's it. That's how I dye or stained coffee paper. Like I said, I hate to do it. It's not my favorite thing. But I wanted a few pieces. Most of the ones I'm going to talk about today, I'm not. But I wanted a few pieces of coffee stained. And so you guys got to watch. So you guys got to watch my process, which is the same whether I'm dyeing full sheets of paper or if I'm just dyeing little index cards. The only thing is the pan that I have the coffee in is longer, of course. Now, because I'm baking paper, I do check it quite often because I don't want to burn it. I almost caught my bread on fire. I had some rolls and I was making garlic bread, and I forgot about them. And they turned so black and it was smoking and it was funny. I burn bread more than anybody else ever. I don't even like bread that much. Maybe that's why I burn it. Okay, guys. So I just pulled it out, and the actual... No. Take that back. Alright. So I'm going to put them back in for just... This one is like right at the... This one's dry. So we're going to pull that one out. Do you see how dark these got? I didn't have them in the coffee that long. I don't know if you can tell. Look how... Can you tell how dark that is? That's crazy. Okay, guys. We are here with my coffee stained index cards that we just did in the kitchen. And I tell you, these got dark. Look at that. I don't know if you could tell in there, but these got pretty dark. I'm surprised. Normally my stuff doesn't get that dark. I also found a couple of purple dyed ones. I think I did these with, looking at them, no, I did these with Kool-Aid, with purple Kool-Aid. So I've got those to work with, and then I've just got some plain white ones. These are 4x6s, and I get a big old stack of them because I use them in business from Amazon. I'll link them down below. So today we're going to make, I'm going to show you some things you can create with index cards, and then we're going to decorate a few for my blue jean journal. And here is the cover I'm working on. As you can see, it's a cereal box, and then inside, the inside part is a white catalog envelope. I've got to trim it, cut it, sew it, but yep, that's how it looks so far. And then I wanted to show you a couple of cool things. I got these brads to go with it. Aren't they cool? They look like buttons, rivets on jeans. So I got those. I got these. These are clothes tags that they hook tags onto clothes with, but I thought I could use them for hooking, I don't know, something onto my journal. Can't open anything today. But they're just strings. And they have the little point on one end and the bigger end, and you hook it in. There's a hole, and you just, oh, it's on that end, sorry. And you just stick it in there, and then you've got like a loop like that. You've seen these on clothes, I'm sure. So I thought I could use them in this journal since it was jeans. And then I got these leather little pieces that look like the Levi's leather tags, you know. But they say like happy things, so. And there's dark ones and light ones, and it says, oh, they all say handmade. But I just thought they were so cute, and, oh, I guess they're only one color, but I could turn them over to this side if I didn't want to say handmade. I could flip them over. So anyway, I got these two for my denim journal. I just thought they were super cute. Okay, so I want some altered index cards in my journal. But before we get to that part, what can you do with these? Index cards are actually super versatile. You can make several things. All you have to do is attach little bitty hinges to them, and you can have several things. So first, we're gonna make a file folder with just 2 index cards and a sheet of the basic Amazon's printer paper. Pair of scissors. Oops. And I'm going to use some double-sided tape. You, of course, can use glue. I just don't want to wait on it to dry. And these 4 things are all you need. Now, before I make my file folder, I'm going to cut my tab. And I'm going to cut a tab only on 1 index card. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to come down. I'm cutting on this first blue line. I'll do it this side. I'm going to cut on this first blue line. But on this side is where I want my tab. So I'm going to round this like that. Then I'm going to come down here, however big I want my tab. And I'm going to round down. Then I'm going to go to that first blue line and just cut across. Okay, there is half of my file folder. You could leave it like that if you wanted to, or you can trim it. I'm going to trim it off. I'm going to go that first blue line on this one and just trim all the way across. Now we have the front and back to our file folder. You can actually make the hinge with the part I cut off. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So I'm going to go ahead and use the part I just trimmed off to make this. And now all I'm going to do is take my hinge and fold it in half. It's going to be thin, but that's okay. And I'm just folding it all the way. And this is going to be our hinge for our file folder. Just like that. So now I have a hinge, and I'm going to put a piece of double-sided tape on one side first. Just like that. And I'm going to put this, then I'm going to peel the tape off. And I'm going to connect it to the bottom of my front of my file folder. Because see, here's my file folder. So I'm going to put the fold at the very bottom like that. Oh, I always stick. And then I'm just going to kind of rock it over and put the hinge right there at the very bottom. That's where you want it to be, on the very bottom. Okay, and press it down. So there's our front of our file folder. I'm going to crease it again. Now I'm going to put my second piece of tape on the back of my hinge. Okay. Just like that. Peel the tape off. I have a little bit hanging over. I'm just going to fold it. Then I'm going to come and put my second part of my file folder in the same exact spot. Oops. And just push it down really good. And there we go. There's your file folder now. Isn't that great? You hinged it together and you have a great file folder out of index cards. So there's one. Now another idea is you can make bags out of file folders too. If you don't have any, you know, of the little clear bags, or maybe you want some little solid bags and you don't have any, maybe you want them to kind of be coffee stained, you could make some coffee stained bags out of coffee stained index cards. We're going to go with white though. And again, we're going to make that same little hinge and do it on all three sides. And then we're going to cut a hole in the top. So for the hinge now, since we're not cutting anything off of our index cards, we're going to use our piece of paper. And I'm just going to kind of measure roughly. And however big you want your bag to be, that's how big you need to make it. And this one is going to be accordion because you want it, if you're going to use it for a bag and you're going to fill it full, you want it to be able to expand. If you're not going to use it as a bag, you know, for a lot of stuff, then you can just do the easy hinge. I'm going to make this a little more complicated. I'm going to do an accordion hinge. Oops, sorry. I always make them too big. And then you just fold it back and forth. And you have your accordion. And then I'm going to attach this to the bottom like that. But I need to make two more before I do that. They need to be a little longer than that one. So I'm going to come up, because I can always trim them down once I make them. So there's that one. All right. So now both of these will be my accordions, and I can trim them to fit. So it's going to be... And I only do 3 folds. I always say, remember the fans we used to make in school? That's what we do. So, excuse my husband. He doesn't care that I film. Okay. So there's another side. Now we got to make one more side, and then we'll tape them all down. Or if you want to glue them all down. Okay, and there's the last side. Now I'm just going to tape these all down to the back side of my bag. I'm going to move those out of the way while I tape it down. And I'm making sure that along the bottom, it's even with the bottom. See? Now I'm going to trim off the ends that are poking over. Oh, the side's perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to repeat the process with the other 2 sides. And when I do the sides, I'm not going to overlap them on the bottom. I'm going to bump them up against the bottom like that. And you just want to make sure it's not hanging over the edge of your bag or the edge of your index card. So again, you want it even with the edge. And I'm going to trim off the part up here. Last side. I'm just going to add tape to all of these sides so I can add the other half of my bag. And if you notice, I put the lines inside on that one, so I'm going to put the lines inside on this one, and I'm just going to line up one end at a time to make sure I'm on the end. And there you go. You have a really cool bag. It kind of reminds me of like a popcorn bag or something. Then you can take your hole punch and cut in holes. Just halfway. And there you go. You've made a bag out of index cards. This way you can have coffee stain bags. You can have whatever you want. So there's two ideas. I'm going to use the purple stained ones this time. And for this one, we only need half. So I'm going to cut it in half. And I'm going to make a simple, I'm going to put the lines in again. I'm going to make a simple specimen card this time. But I'm going to do it by using my flower hole punch. So I'm just going to center that on one side, the front side. There's my hole punched flower. Now, just like a specimen card, I'm going to get some clear material so everything doesn't fall out. use this bag. Yep, use this flap right here. It's a little wrinkled, but it won't look bad. Oops, there we go. And I'm just going to attach the clear plastic to the inside of this card and trim off whatever's left poking out. Now I'm going to tape it closer to the flower because if I put some sequins or whatever I put in here, like a shaker card or a specimen, I don't want it falling down in this part that I can't see, but I want this part to ride on. So what I'm going to do is take my tape and tape off the part where I will fill closer to the flower. And I'm going to do it all the way across. That way nothing sneaks down past my tape. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and tape the bottom part down. Come on. Okay, and I'm just going to tape that across. Then I'll trim off any tape hanging over. Okay, now we'll just go ahead and tape the rest up, and I'm going to cut this extra off real quick. You could just glue the whole thing down if you wanted. I'm just going to cut it off. Now I'm going to do across the, I'm going to do the side over here. Okay. Trim the top off. But I'm not going to tape it closed yet. Now I'm going to glue the top, or tape the top down. There we go. Okay, now I'm just gonna all right, so now we've got our clear plastic down over our flower, and it's taped around on all sides so nothing will sneak under there. we could now we're going to tape our 2 cards together and leave the top open so we can fill in. But when we do the bottom, what we're going to do is we're going to tape across here and the bottom, because again, I don't want anything going out of sight where we can't see it. So I'm going to put my tape across here. And across the bottom, because I want to make sure my card will stand up to use. And then on the 3 sides, I'm not going to do the top yet, obviously, because the top is where we're going to put, you know, beads or sequins or whatever we decide we're going to fill this with. Flowers, dried flowers. Okay, now I'm going to peel all of that off. I got the tape under there. There we go. Okay, oops. Make sure my lines are inside. I'm going to make sure the top lines up. And there we go. Now the top, we can stick our sequins or dried flowers, like I said, anything we want to. You see how it doesn't open up very much? That's because we didn't do hinges on the side, but it's enough to pour something in. And we could add some sequins, and then we have room to write here, and we could write on the back, or we could stick in just a colorful sheet of paper. And we don't have to put sequins in. We could leave it open and change it out as we wanted to. Let's see here. Oops. Just gonna stick this in here. I gotta trim it off just a tad. But you could do that. You don't have to put sequins or anything in except a sheet of paper. And you could do spring, you could do winter, you could do fall, you could change it out. But it's really tight on the sides. And if you're going to change it out, you might want to make the sides with a hinge. There we go. And you could change it out, trim the top off. And whatever season it is, you could move this from journal to journal. You could make more of these for winter, fall. So that's another idea. It's like a specimen card, but you're using paper instead of the specimen. And then you can still write here and write here if you want, or not. You can use index cards to make your own custom tickets. All you have to do is have a couple of tickets. You can print patterns off of the internet. I'm actually going to start having some patterns up in my Etsy shop that if you want to get them, you know, like a ticket pattern, a pocket pattern, those kind of things. Those will probably be up by Monday. And I'll probably have one freebie from that. I'm not sure what it'll be, but you could make a whole bunch of tickets out of index cards. basically you just cut little C's in the corner and bigger C's in the middle if you're doing, you know, more than one ticket in a row. It's really easy. And there you have some tickets, and you have lines on the back. You can write, or you can leave them like that. You can fold them in half like you do tickets. Decorate them, whatever you wanted to do. So that's another way to use index cards. So you can use them as a base. And as a base, I thought it would be really cool to make, I'm going to use some of my pretty paper here. And you can use them for a base to make like, to make like a quilt. And you can cut whatever patterns you're going to use, whatever paper or fabrics. You can make a quilt out of paper. You can make a quilt out of fabric. It doesn't have to be all scrapbook paper. It can be whatever you want it to be. Some people call it quilts. Some people call it Franken paper. You know, you just do you and do it how you want it. You can do circles. You could do stripes. But you just layer your paper however you see the pattern, in your head. And you can glue this down while you're doing it. You could, you know, lay it all out, then glue it down, whatever works for you. And I'm doing strips because that's what works for what I want to do. You can leave white spots showing as paper as well. And you could create something like that. Then you have a quilt pattern. You glue it down, and you still have an index card you can write on. From here, you could add, let me glue this down real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, once you get your quilt made, remember it's okay to let white show through if you want to. If you don't, that's fine too. But the great thing about index cards is they're really sturdy, they're thick, and they can hold up to a lot of gluing. Now, once you get your quilt made, you can have a great index card, journaling card, or you can take it a step farther. And I made this index card right there. And I also created a little kit for my denim journal with some denim paper. This one, that one, and hold on. And this one. I thought they would be cute. So you could now come in and I could put one of these labels. It's a denim day, be yourself. Oops, be yourself was supposed to be 2 B's. I can put a B there though, that's okay. I think I will cut out one of these pockets. Just gonna cut out this pocket real quick. And then I can put it on my card on the front right there, and then I could get some of my little leather tags, or I could use the ones I made that I printed on my little, for my little denim kit here I made myself. Let's see here. So when you do a quilted pattern with paper, you could use music paper, you could use book pages, you know, of different colors, different writing styles. Or you could do something with scrapbook paper like this, then I can put this tag kind of hanging out of it like that, and put and then I can bring made the words kind of big because I wasn't sure where I'm going to use them. Now that I know where I'm going to use them, they're a little big, but that's okay. I can put it's a denim day, like that, or no words at all. But that's an idea of how you can use index cards too. Create something different because they're so sturdy. You can create something different like quilted paper that you do yourself, and they'll hold up to all the gluing just fine. Don't forget, we made our little specimen card or just flower display. We made tags, our hinged file folder, and our bag. So guys, what are you gonna try? Let me know down below in the comments. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video all about index cards, and I gave you some ideas that maybe you hadn't thought of before, maybe you have. Anyway, if you like this video, be sure and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't yet, be sure and hit that subscribe button with that little bell. There's a lot more coming, plus you're going to be seeing that denim journal more and more. And you want to hear about the reviews on the Etsy shops where I got the paper, especially if you hate dyeing paper as much as I do. Again, thank you all for being here. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.